other gaming addictions I've had besides WoW, Team Fortress 2 was definitely one of them. That was a pretty fun time. It was a sort of a different kind of addiction than my WoW addiction. So my Team Fortress 2 addiction was mostly because I was a trader, and I was always trying to make a profit. Like, whenever I logged into TF2, okay, it wasn't always like this, okay? When I played TF2, originally when I started, I was just playing for fun, okay? I was playing just like everybody else. I would join, two fort maps, Dust Bowl. If you ever played the game, you'll know these maps, their names. Versus Saxon Hail servers. I don't know what else they had. Super Mario maps, Mario Kart maps, all the fun stuff. And eventually, Valve came out with the crates, right? You had these crates, they had items in them. I think they were the first, maybe the first game to do items inside the crates. And then, other games like Overwatch eventually adopted that. The crates came out, and I was like, oh, look at these items. They're really cool. You had your strange quality items that kept track of your kills. Normal weapons, they didn't do that. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. They had a cool little glow to them, or they had unusual effects, or they were golden or silver colored. And I was like, oh, I kind of want that stuff. And I had to figure out how to get them. And that's when my journey of trading began. And I traded all the time. I was trading nonstop. Like every time I was logging in, I was looking to make a profit. I would hit up the trade servers. Minecraft trade servers were the place I was almost always at. And why? A very simple reason. I would always go to the Minecraft trade servers because that is where the more inexperienced players would hang out. So it was kind of a bit easier to make a profit off of them because, they were newer to the game, right? So I would say, oh, I have every weapon in the game. Trade me if you're looking for whatever weapon you want. I know, right? It's like, oh, he's so scummy. He's taking advantage of noobs. Like, well, profit is profit. That's okay. That sounds really bad, but that was my mentality back then. Okay. So yeah, I'd hang out with all the noobs, right? I'd hang out in those servers, and the kids would hit me up. It's like, oh yeah, I want that weapon. It's like, okay, sure, just pay me, a couple extra scrap. Like the currency in TF2 was metal. Okay, scrap metal, reclaimed metal, refined metal. Weapons were like a scrap each, but then I'd be like, oh, just give me 3 scrap. It's like, what's 3 scrap for your favorite weapon, right? Who cares? It's just a 3x profit for me, but for you, it's your favorite weapon. Sure, just hand it over, right? So yeah, started out small, just making little scraps of profit, and then I started to deal in more expensive wares. It sounds just like a businessman starting from nothing. Started with scraps, moved up to reclaimed metals, then refined metals, selling, started with standard items and went to strange items and unusual items. And eventually, it's gonna sound really dumb, but there was a currency in TF2 that was worth a lot back like 5-10 years ago. They're called earbuds. It's like, the stuff you put in your ears, earbuds. And the reason why these things were so valuable was because they were a limited time promotional item for Mac users when TF2 was adopted for Macintosh. Not many people had them, so they were really valuable. So every single earbud was worth it's like there's so many different types of currencies you could use. There's like keys or earbuds. There's items that were priced in different metals. And like I remembered all this stuff. Okay. I was like the master trader. It's crazy. I knew what every single item was worth. I knew how much I could get away with overcharging or lowballing or whatever. I knew everything, okay? So eventually, I became super rich in in-game currency, okay? I was like, I had everything I wanted. I could buy whatever I wanted. My TF2 account was probably worth thousands of dollars, okay? So what happens? Like, why would you stop playing Team Fortress if you work so hard to, trade your way up to being like a rich guy? You had everything. Why'd you quit? Well, it kind of ended when I became an administrator for one of the servers that I like to hang around. What I like to do as an administrator, I would do giveaways. I'd host games. I had admin powers. Okay, I could do whatever I wanted. When it came to the kids, I was just like, I wanted them to have fun. It's like, yeah, if you dance around or you kill enough people, I'll give you a scrap metal or your favorite weapon or whatever. And they like that stuff. One of the events that I held one day was I was going to unbox 500 crates, okay? I had 500 keys in my inventory. And keys, they cost real money. Like $2.50 each. I think that was the price for a key. 500 times 250, that's probably like $1,500 worth of in-game currency. And I was like, okay, I had never unboxed my own unusual item. And unusuals were the top tier items, the rarest. There's like a 1% chance of getting an unusual from a crate. So they're incredibly rare. And I was like, I have everything I want. What I've never gotten was the thrill of unboxing my own unusual. So I was like, okay, that's going to change today. And I'd been playing the game for many, many years, okay? Many years. And I had traded for unusuals, but I never unboxed one. So, like I said, I was just looking for the thrill. All I wanted was the thrill, the excitement, the joy of getting my own. That's all I wanted. So I started unboxing. Unboxed like 100 crates, no unusual, like no problem. I got 400 more. Unboxed another 100, no hats. These unusuals were hats, by the way. They were purely cosmetic. They didn't really help you in game at all. But I was like, okay, I got 300 crates left. I can do this. Another 100 crates go. I'm like, okay, 200. It's getting a little risky here. I might actually be losing all my keys, but we've come this far. Like, gambler's fallacy. I deserve this unusual. It's about time for me to get one, right? Another 100 crates go by, no unusual. I'm like, okay. This is starting to stress me out a little bit. I feel like I might have wasted all of my entire trading career's worth of currency unboxing crates, and I didn't get anything. So the last 100 crates goes by. Guess what? Can you guess what happened? I'll let you guys guess. I got it. No, I did not get it. Isn't that's just life for you, isn't it? Life is not fair. It just isn't. That's just what happens, guys. Like, the odds of me not getting an unusual, they were so slim. With how many attempts I had, it just blew my mind. It blew my mind. I was so devastated. I was like, how can I continue playing this game? I wasted everything. It was so awful, guys. I was like, how could this happen to me? Like, didn't I deserve this? Didn't I deserve this after all the work I'd put in? I had enough in-game currency to buy any unusual I wanted, okay? I didn't care what unusual I got. All I wanted was the thrill of getting one myself. That's all I wanted. But I guess God didn't think, I was worth it or whatever. I was basically gambling, okay? Don't gamble, guys. Doesn't matter how many times you try, the chance of winning is always the same, no matter how many times you try. That's the lesson.